The fight of the decade is finally seeing the light of day. Yep, you heard that right. Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson is finally in the works, and both guys can't wait to take each other's head off in the ring. The beef is as real as it gets, and trash talking has already begun from both sides of the battlefield. This much-anticipated matchup has been making a lot of rounds on the internet. And it's safe to say all boxing pros can't help but give their predictions on who comes out victorious. There's a lot to unpack with this one, so without further ado, let's take a deep dive into the action. Gervonta Davis is coming off a huge victory over Frank Martin. It's funny how a lot of pros like Errol Spence Jr. gave Frank Martin the edge to win the fight. Let's just things did not go to plan as Frank got put to sleep in the 8th round. It was pure domination by Tanko left go Mar. That's what happens when you try to dethrone the king. While everyone praised Tank for his impressive win, Shakur Stevenson had a much more interesting take. Shakur Stevenson didn't hold back. He said watching the fight was like seeing a pro boxer toy with an amateur. It was a bad matchup. Oh, it was a professional versus an amateur. Frank Martin lost a fight in round 1 when Tank walked out and made him do exactly what he wanted him to do. He lost the fight. Frank went out there and just wasted a lot of energy in the first 3 or 4 rounds, and by round 5, round 6, especially with the weight problems that he was having, he got tired. And once he got tired at his ball game, Tank lined him up and got rid of him. If Gervonta really wants to showcase his talent, he needs to step into the ring with Shakur Stevenson. But according to Tim Bradley, it's the last thing Tank should do. Bradley gave his bold predictions in favor of Shakur Stevenson, wiping the floor with Tank Davis. Now it's every other day you see a guy betting against Tank. He's the one that beat Tank. You think, yeah, and call me hate. I don't give a damn. Yeah, I keep coming at me, keep bringing that hate. Keep bringing that hate, baby. I love it. Keep bringing it. Yes, he beats Tank. He outboxes him very easy, no problem whatsoever. Floyd Mayweather, all in the fight world, has weighed in and picked his winner for this bout in his own unique style. Floyd, who when you think about the fighters who are fighting now, can you give me your 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 when it comes to the lightweight who you would put? Whereas of right now, the 2 guys, the biggest puncher I feel at the 135 would probably be Gervonta Davis. But the most skillful fighter at 135 will be hands down Shakur Stevens. What is it about him? Because I know he have a lot of good attributes, but do you think he has enough power to sustain? Well, it's really all about skills. Peril Weir wasn't a huge puncher, but he was, very exciting, very tough. And he fought everybody. Shakur is trying to do the same thing. He want to fight the best they got out there. I believe his contract is coming to an end. So hopefully we can come together, and I could take him to that next level with Floyd. It's always about skill over crazy power. The man won all 50 of his fights by relying on his technique and boxing IQ in the ring. So when Floyd speaks, you listen. He's throwing his support behind Shakur all the way. This legend knows what it takes to be unbeatable, and he's betting on Shakur's skills to come out on top. Terrence Bud Crawford gave his honest thoughts on this mega fight. What he said is just bad news for Shakur Stevenson. One thing I can say about Tank is he's smart, he can box, yes, and he explosive. I see that being Shakur's toughest fight because of the power. Oscar Valdez, who's already been through the trenches with Shakur Stevenson, has sent a brutal warning to Gervonta Davis ahead of this fight. Tank's got power, but it won't matter if he can't catch Shakur. Is Shakur the guy that beats Gervonta in your opinion? No, it's a tough one because Tank carries a punch. But if you're going to knock somebody out, you got to first hit him, and Shakur is very difficult to hit. He's always a step away. What can I say? People saw the fight. I gave my best. And try to land those shots it's not easy. Even if you land those shots, it's in a defensive way where he's kind of backing up, and you can't get with a clean shot to even land that knockout that everybody wants. Former CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Albee, who's been making headlines lately due to his controversy with Floyd, believes Tank is going to steamroll Shakur. And it's not just Shakur says there's a whole list including Devin Haney and Lomachenko who won't pose any problems for Tank. According to Leonard, none of these guys stand a chance against him. He has a hit list and he's going on to get every one of these guys who y'all say are the top guys, trust me. Shakur GNA get that work he asking for, he going to get that work. But it ain't what he think it is, it ain't what he think it is. I can't wait for it to happen. Though how confident you or Tank could be fighting someone like a Devin Haney or a Shakur Olenko next. Do you see that kind of a fight happening for Tank? All these guys who you guys say are the top guys out there. Tank gonna get every one of these guys. He just can't fight him all in one night. He didn't already got Ryan Garcia out the way. Next is Frank Martin on the hit L. On the other hand, American professional boxer Keeson Davis is backing Shakur to do what 30 other fighters could not. How do you see that fight unfolding between Shakur and Tank Davis? Well, you never know in this sport, man, like in terms of who getting a fight first, like who would expected Frank Martin fighting Tank? No, especially after he didn't fight Shakur, so you already never know who will get the fight first. I'm at a level where I am ready, so whoever Tank will want to fight first, it's really up to that man, you know what I'm saying? But in terms of him and Shakur, was if there was to fight, I think Shakur would win. Like I think Shakur got better skill. And of course, he's just better defensively. I'm always going with the better skill. The better defensive fighter. T-skill is phenomenal, but I just feel like he's offensive. He's offense first. But before Shakur goes head-to-head with Gervonta Davis, he's got a tune-up fight lined up in July. First up, Shakur will defend his WBC lightweight belt against Armenian-born German Olympian Artem Harutyunyan on Saturday, July 6, at the Credential Center in his hometown of Newark, New Jersey. However, Artem isn't much of a threat with only 12 fights under his belt. Compared to Tank's 30, this bout won't prepare Shakur for the storm. Tank is bringing this fight is just a warm-up. The real test is yet to come, and what makes this fight even bigger is Floyd's role in it. You don't have to be a die-hard boxing fan to know that Floyd and Tank cannot stand the sight of each other anymore. The blood could not run any colder between those two. And things took an interesting turn when Floyd posted a video of Shakur calling Tank out on his Instagram story. Your beef is not with Floyd Mayweather. You sitting here beefing with Floyd. It's a fighter out here that's been calling your name. I want to fight you, Gervonta Davis. Let's make the fight happen. Man, I'm tired of tweeting. I'm tired of talking about it. Stop ducking me and let's make the fight happen. You already know whose side Floyd's on. Shakur Stevenson is our best shot at dethroning Tank Davis. And that's exactly what Floyd's rooting for. Money Mayweather is itching to see Tank take an L since Floyd has never lost. That's the only way to settle the debate on who's better, Floyd or Tank. Either this bout will break records. Tank versus Shakur is the fight to make. The fans can't wait to see how this one goes down. Let's see what the fans are saying. One fan tweeted this on X. With all due respect, I don't think anyone wants to watch Shakur versus anybody. He's a great fighter, don't get me wrong at all. Shakur is one of the best fighters right now, but his style is just super boring. He moves too damn much. Nobody wants to see that at all. Gervonta Davis isn't the only one sounding off. Ry Romero has also thrown shade, calling Shakur the most boring fighter ever, with Devin Haney right behind him. When these big names are all saying the same thing, there's got to be some truth to it. Like, I'll be honest, I used to think Devin Haney was the most boring fight in the dance sport, but at least Devin Haney tries to knock people. Devin Haney just has the inferior, genetics. His genetics are beyond horrible with his sloppy legs and his weak body frame and all that stuff. But Shakur, that's that guy will put anybody to sleep outside the ring, not inside the ring, because that's like he the most boring fighter in the history of boxing. And they could say whatever the underscore they want. They can hype him up and all that stuff. But I really feel bad for him, 'cause there's no way they could put him on pay-per-view. He can't sell a fight, another fan commented. Tank beats everyone at 135. He's got too much power. And he's too slick, a boxer. He's not going to bummer. And was to stay in a brawling. He is very calculated with what he throws, where why he barely threw anything the first 4 rounds. He's learned Mayweather's style. But with power, wow, that's a killer. Take Tank at 135 is a beast. He's got that knockout power and slick moves just like Mayweather. But with more firepower, he's smart about it too, saving his energy and striking when it counts. No wild brawling, just pure calculated destruction.